The land we stand on is a patchwork of memory. There are memories embedded in the dirt, secrets binding the bark to the trees, ancestral wisdom flowing through our waters. The earth, a bank of stored memory. Naturally, these memories would seep into the seeds planted, the greens grown, the animals raised, and the fruits harvested, later to be furthered by the creations of imaginative Afro and Indigenous artisans whose foodways are divinely developed, age-old customs. The foodways of the folk have always been rhythmical, in tune with the seasons and the natural world, thus a genuine pride in the foods we eat and cook, as they are connected to the conditions of our minds and the health of our hearts. It is no wonder that after months at sea, refusing to eat the slabber sauce put forward, some African captives disembarked slave ships, taking okra seeds out of their hair, transferring many African crops such as bene, watermelon, peas and peppers to new lands, preserving a unique botanical and agricultural heritage. During times of enslavement, secret gardens and potato banks were made, serving as dependable food sources to sustain the South and the community. Gumbos, stews, soups, and broths, flavored with tossed down bones, herbs, and greens, simmered for hours, ready in time to calm the horrors of a day's labor. A medicinal knowledge was also remembered when preparing life-everlasting teas and herbal root chews for curing illnesses and healing inflicted injuries. The craft of food for sustenance would preserve many Africanisms when heavily spicing, stewing rice and meats in milk, and frying bits of dough for snacks. All memories reclaimed in the works of those who labored the fields, the house cooks formally and informally educated, the famed presidential chefs, Hercules and Hemmings, and in the free entrepreneurial folks who linked elegant food services to economic freedom and the complete liberation of our people. In tandem with the food, remembrances of African hospitality rituals can be felt in the gifts of entertainers who felt that giving from the stage or the kitchen was the same impulse. That is, of course, because good food is jazz, a dish, a song, a course meal, a three-act play. Our chefs, conductors, dancers even. Cooking to entertain survives in part of chefs like Leah Chase, the queen of Creole cuisine, who in the face of the Jim Crow era created and maintained a graceful restaurant experience, serving up homemade Creole dishes in a restaurant decorated with Afro-American arts, empowering the local folk and providing refuge for civil rights activists to safely discuss progress over exquisite food. With a genuine care, Miss Leah Chase, among many, made sure people ate good amidst the battles and movements towards equality. The present-day happenings of tasty chicken wings, drumettes, and flats are linked to the unsung women and men who perfected fried chicken. John Young, an originator of the buffalo wing, crowned the king of wings, fried whole chicken wings till golden brown, then coating them with his signature mumbo sauce. All in a time when chicken wings were discarded or reserved for the poor by the rich who did not consider the wing to be a prime cut. It was the ingenuity and the bold seasonings of African American cooks that led the wing to become the comforting food we enjoy today. When it comes to our sauces, salsas, and gravies that stick to our wings, coat our stir fries, and smother our meats, we have our international heritage to thank. When we cook, we riff with tinges of Spanish, Asian fusions, French delicacies, and African know-hows, all with foods and techniques derived from a dish's native land. Take the lifestyle of barbecue, originating from the indigenous peoples of the Caribbean, the Taino. The word barbecue, a direct descendant of the Taino's barbacoa, a cooking technique of roasting flavorful citrus, spice, and herb marinated meats on a bucan, a type of wooden grill positioned over a fire pit. The presence and remembrances of the Taino can be tasted in the foods of Latin and Caribbean peoples who cook with a very tasteful trust in naranjo agria and the ají. Hot peppers, never just a preference or a whimsical challenge of heat, but yet another life-fulfilling tradition. Like the formerly enslaved revolutionaries, the Maroons of the Caribbean, who picked and grinded spices into blends and marinades, smoking their meats in underground pits to avoid the compromising of their location when in hiding or on the run. The ancestors in all that was face founded the seeds and nurtured the roots to our honest and spirited foodways, leaving us in the present to be firmly planted in a foundational excellence, carrying on a preserved legacy of not only eating to survive, but surviving to eat. Many of this country's current delights would not be as abundant as they are without the crops Afro and Indigenous peoples have cared for throughout history. Corn, potatoes, pumpkins, wild rices, and avocados direct from Indigenous lands, sugarcane, cocoa, vanilla, bananas, Carolina rice, all grown on plantations or in tropical homelands, driving an economy and bringing a type of cheer that I believe most of us take for granted. We ought to remember that American cuisine is truly a la Creole, an art of mixed heritage, recognizing the peoples whose lifeways have been foundational to the sustainability of the earth and the constant joys of our souls. We stand on the land today comfortably enjoying the fruits of the earth because of these ancestors who had the strength to preserve them, to fight for the integrity of our cultures and ensure that the foods that had pleased and sustained them would do the same for us in our present. We wrote, we spoke, we sung, we danced, and we cooked, strengthening the spirit of our people. We must look to all that has been preserved, returning to and inspiring new traditions